How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Sleepy Hearth 800 subscriber special edition. Now, technically what I'm doing right now is recording just audio, no gameplay, but I may decide to put some gameplay in the background. So, don't know what it'll be yet, but it'll be something. Probably something that I've already done. I don't want to have to create extra footage for it. But today is really something. I've developed a list here of questions for you guys since we've done some Q&A from you in the past. I'm going to do a little bit of reversal. But before that, I want to give a special shout out to those who have contributed to the Patreon. That's patreon.com/thesleepyhearth. And only got a couple up there right now, but I'm very thankful that you think that the content is Patreon worthy. And I do apologize for anybody who's done it before and I've never really reached out for a reward. I know the reward structure is kind of flimsy. I'm always trying to think of ways to improve it, but make it so I'm not overextending on what I can do for you guys. But for those who are currently donating to the Patreon, I will reach out to you via email, and anybody who else will join in on that, I will also email and be like, hey, you qualify for this, and that, what would you like, kind of a thing. So hopefully I'll try to get to that right after this video. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the questions here. The first one that I have for you is, how long have you been subscribed to the channel / what was the video that you first saw of mine? So it's pretty straightforward. And I guess to tack onto that is, did the video that you watched make you want to subscribe, or did it take you like a couple of videos, be like, all right, you know what, I kind of want to see this a bit more regularly. And before I continue, I do want to let you know that with YouTube specifically, lately, it's been kind of a thing where you might be subscribed, but you might not get notifications that a video's gone up. So you might check back like a week later or so and be like, oh wow, he's put out so many videos, but I never got any notifications. Basically, you have to click this little bell notification thing saying that you want to receive notifications when you upload. So it's like you have to double subscribe. So as H3H3 put it, be sure to bell me, bro. So yeah, make sure you got that bell on to get them notifications, because they're not always going to show up on your feed, because why would subscriptions show up on your feed to things you subscribed for? Oh, YouTube. Okay, sorry to rant on about that. Question number 2. What is your favorite content that I put on there? It could be whisper, it could be soft-spoken, it could be a specific game, it could be something that I used to do that I don't do anymore. Let me know what it is. I'm not saying I'm going to do a whole lot more of it, but I'm going to try to at least make sure it's included if it's popular enough. I've been trying to bring more whisper stuff back for you because I know some of you guys really like to whisper. So today it's going to be soft-spoken just because I feel like it gets a bit more attention, but I could be wrong. Okay, and then I guess to follow that up was what would be your least favorite content? And once again, that falls into the same category: whisper, non-whisper, stuff I no longer do that you're just like, oh, thank God he's not doing that, or stuff that I currently do that you just don't like. Okay. Oh yeah. Number 4, what days and times would you be able to watch me stream? So I'm trying to determine what would be a really solid stream schedule, especially since my work schedule is going to be getting a slight adjustment starting next week. Nothing major, just an hour later. So that gives me the opportunity to stay up, another hour if I need to. So just let me know what time zone you're in, because my time zone is Eastern Standard Time. So if you're going to tell me a time, be sure to convert it over into Eastern Standard Time, and that way I'll know what time I can stream for you. Once again, might not always be able to accommodate it, but I will try within the best of my ability to make the time that everyone can see. And once again, on Twitch, you might follow me, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the notifications. So be sure to get them notified. There's a notification thing on there too, to tell you when I start streaming. It'll usually send you an email or something, or maybe on the app it'll send it to your phone. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, speaking of which, what device do you usually watch from? Now I do have the statistics on this, but maybe sometimes you watch from your phone versus sometimes you watch from your computer. And I guess, I don't know, what's your favorite way of doing it? Not that I really add annotations to my videos, but I guess if I ever wanted to try throwing up an annotation, I wanted to, I guess, see if it would be successful, because they don't reach phone devices, only the cards do. And I don't know if I have card. I think I just have like whatever's the most recent video for the card that shows up. Do you tend to fall asleep during my videos? Is that your goal, to fall asleep during my videos? I mean, I won't be offended if you say yes to either of those, because it's kind of the idea of ASMR, in general. I know some people might watch it just to relax with the intention of sitting through the whole thing, but it's not always going to be the case, There are going to be times where you just fall asleep. There's times where I watch something that's exciting and I fall asleep, so do not feel bad. Do you like, and question number 7, do you like long or short videos? I consider a long video to be anything longer than 30 minutes, and a short video anything between 15 to 20 minutes. I know that's not a perfect coverage of that area, but anything shorter than 15 minutes I don't really consider decent quality. I guess as long as it definitely has to be at least 10 minutes for me to consider it a video to put up on the channel, because I know 10 minutes can be really, really short. It passes by like nothing. It's like one Hearthstone game sometimes. But so that way I can know if I ever do have a short video that maybe I'm not 100% happy with, but if I throw it up alongside something else, kind of like how these past 2 shaman videos were only 15 minutes each, but it's because that way I was able to do a whisper and a soft spoken and throw them both up in one night. So that's what I was able to do for you. And then question number 9, which I'm very curious to see, but even if everyone said yes, I guess if everyone did, that'd be a lot of yeses. But number 9 is, do you ever want to see me use a webcam? Do you want to see my face? Do you want to put a face to the name? Do you want to see what the sleepy Hearth looks like as he's playing his games and making his videos? Do you care? Well, I guess that's a bit aggressive way of asking that last one. But no, it's just like, do you want to see face cam? Because I know it tends to be popular, especially in streams, which I don't usually get a lot of stream viewership. I think on average whenever I stream, because I know it's so erratic whenever I do. I have, I think 150 followers last time I checked on Twitch, but usually whenever I stream I get maybe 3 or 4 at the most, which isn't bad. I mean, with Twitch, you definitely, it's something you need to be a lot more regular than YouTube with to gain a solid viewership, because I might stream at 7 o'clock tonight, I might stream at 8 o'clock tomorrow, I might not stream for another week after that, So it's not like I'm saying, oh man, woe is me, but it's just the simple facts. Okay. And I know probably not a lot of you have seen this in comparison, but do you like the current Patreon structure? I will be going into a little bit of that after the Q&A and anything else I think of, because I have planned to make improvements on it. In fact, I haven't touched the page really since I've originally put it up there, as evidenced by the original trailer. That trailer I put up, the Patreon trailer, I put up when I had 40 subscribers. Yeah, so clearly there needs to be some changes. I don't even remember what I said in that video. I haven't watched it since then. Okay. And as far as Patreon goes, continuing that question, what would you want on there to make it better? Like I said, I will be discussing some things, nothing major, but what kind of things would make you want to spend money, even if, for example, you didn't? Because like I can think of things that if someone had a Patreon, I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally give money for that. Doesn't mean I'm going to. And I know it sounds a bit contradictory, but it's one of those things where if I had the extra spare money, I definitely would. But and then, I mean, usually Patreon's like, the idea is, you're supposed to be supporting the creator. It's not about getting stuff, but at the same time, like I know sometimes money could be tough. If everyone had a lot of money, I'm sure, Patreon wouldn't even be an issue. But then again, if everyone had a ton of money, then maybe I wouldn't need Patreon, because then I'd have a ton of money. Oh, the ebbs and flows of life. But anyway, let's see. Question number 11. Any past content you want to see more of that I used to do, or stuff that I haven't done? Now, obviously that could be like a game, because there's tons of games I haven't played. And if it's an affordable game that you really want to see me play, maybe I'll give it a shot. But I have a feeling it's going to be kind of tough, especially time-wise right now. That's something that, with the Patreon goals that I have in mind, I might be able to do later. But at the same time is money, friend, to quote a goblin from World of Warcraft. But other than that, time is usually against me, just because of working full-time and, managing life outside of that. Okay, so I think, that's actually going to do it for all the questions. Oddly enough, I thought I'd have more, but 11 questions is not too bad, I suppose. I kind of wish I had some extras, but unfortunately that is all I got. So now we're on to the Patreon section. We're only 11 minutes in. So I have 2 sets of goals on here, and I'm going to explain to you, give you the breakdown. Nothing major, breakdown wise. The money might seem a bit much, but trust me, there's an explanation to the whole thing. So right now, I guess I'd be disclosing that from my full-time job, I make, before taxes, and then again, do I really want to give out my income on the internet? Alright, how about this? Instead of telling you how much I make, we'll just do this. Alright, so the first goal. This will allow me to work part-time, and with that, I might be able to stream a lot more. And that is a goal of $1,000 per month. Now, that is before taxes are taken out, because, believe it or not, making money on the internet, still got to pay taxes. So, how that works is you fill out, I think it's a W-9 or and you just fill out a form, you send it in, you give up a portion of the the money you make to taxes, and you're good to go. So the 1,000 would be before taxes, is what I'd want to make, and that would allow me to work part-time at the current pay rate that I'm making, that I will not disclose. But $1,000 a month part-time, so that I could, and that's 20 hours a week is what I mean by part-time, because I know technically part-time could be anything less than 40. Actually, I think in the US 30 is considered full-time for healthcare benefits and stuff, but regardless, goal 1,000 a month. Streams would still be limited, because say if I end up working part-time, a lot of part-time gigs you end up working later at night, so unless I get lucky, so it'd still be kind of dependent on that for streams, but that would be good. And then overall, for me currently, with my, I guess, current budget of life, for me to be able to completely move over to full-time, is I need making a total, I guess you can also combine Patreon and YouTube, is I need a total of $2,000 a month before taxes, and that's to be able to completely stream, I'd be able to stream basically whenever I want. I'd be able to do full-time YouTube, I'd be able to do a greater variety of games, greater variety of content, I'd basically be able to do any request that anyone has, within reason, of course. So, yeah, $2,000 a month. And I'm going to be aiming to achieve, I'd say, half of the first goal by the end of 2017. Now, I know it's really lofty, extremely lofty, but sometimes you got to shoot for the stars in order to even make it to the moon. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Heck, if I make it to even like $100 or $200 a month by the end of the year, that'd be pretty crazy awesome. Just because, one, people think it would be that worth it, and two, that's still money I could use to put towards, things that I need. And depending on where I'm at, maybe even drop down to something like 35 hours a week or 30 hours a week, once I figure out the math of it all and all that good stuff. So we will see. Okay, now I actually have another sheet of paper here with my changes to the Patreon reward structure. These are not set in stone. I just wrote these while at work on a sheet of paper that I then tore out. Okay, so let me go to the current Patreon page, because a lot of it's going to sound pretty similar to what's on there right now. So we have, let me go to the dashboard. No, it's actually not the dashboard that I want. So, hold on, I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to get there. Okay, so as of the recording of this video, I'm still known on there as Sleep by the Hearth, which clearly the branding has changed over to Sleepy Hearth. So that's one thing that's already got to change. I don't know if I could change the URL or not. In fact, the URLs / the Sleepy Hearth, which I find kind of funny. So the current $1 reward structure is saying, word for word, it says, sometimes all you need is $1 in a dream. This gets access to the Patreon feed and a big thanks. And that's pretty much going to stay at that for $1. $2, which I'm actually probably just going to straight up get rid of, currently says access to the Patreon feed as well as a 5-minute personal reading of anything you like, non-NSFW. This includes books, news, articles, fan fiction, and more. For me, I've actually changed it so any of the recording stuff doesn't start until the $5 mark. Now you might ask why, but I just figure technically it's a lot less jumble up, I suppose. I don't know. It's just what I wrote down. Like I said, nothing set in stone. And then on mine, it says $3 name will be listed during update videos, such as this, I suppose. If you want your name listed on here as a patron, you can have that, or I can list it in the description below every video. Basically, however you want to be noticed for your efforts. Probably wouldn't be at the end of every video. It'd probably just be at least in the description. I probably wouldn't do like a credits thing of like all the patrons, because if that did build up over time, that'd get pretty lengthy, and at the same time, it's just taking up space at the end of a video, and technically that means I'd have to go in and edit that in, and that takes up more time to do. So just overall make it a path of least resistance, but still get there kind of a thing. Okay, so we're gonna skip the $3 and the $4 because we just covered $3 what that would mean. So $5 is the current. Oh, I messed that up. I technically messed up my own thing. Interesting. This is $5 patrons pledge $6 or more per month. Yep, I messed that up somehow. That or Patreon did. But anyway, it says access to the Patreon feed as well as a 25-minute personal reading. Pretty much they're all just length of personal readings. And I thought that was kind of boring. So I was like, you know what? Okay. For the $5 one, oddly enough, on the new structure is still the... so $5 gets you... For some reason, I thought this was a good idea. But I'm just going to say what's written down. ASMR request of any safe for work type ASMR, such as brushing, tapping, typing, etc., 5 minutes in length. The new structure of $6 to $9 will be the same as the $5 one. $10 will be similar to the $5 one, but a 10-minute video. $15 is where we see some actual changes to the structure. $15, if there's a game that I don't own for PC, I'll purchase it and make a Let's Play of it. Make a Let's Play of it, or 30-minute ASMR request. And in the parentheses, I wrote no horror games, nothing scary, because I do not touch those unless you pay me tons of money. That would be an exuberant amount of money. And then $20 per month is the same as $15, but I'll do 2 episodes per week. So to kind of break that down, because I know that was probably just like a whiplash of information, be like, what are you talking about? So say, for example, if there's a game I don't own and it doesn't cost, I'll actually just purchase whatever game it is. Money doesn't matter. If you pay me $15 a month, I'll buy any game and I'll make one video of it per week, kind of like how I try to do Dust and Owlboy, right now, is at least get one of those per week. I know I was kind of slacking with that, but obviously anything Patreon directly related is going to get super priority. I guarantee we get one of those out per week. For the $20 mark, it's going to be the same thing, but I will guarantee get 2 of those out per week. So, say for example, you wanted me to play, what's that game that just came out? My wife's been watching Resident Evil 7, so that's like the only thing that's been on my mind. But, I don't know. Say for example, I'm also trying to think of PC. Oh my god, it's been a while since I've looked at PC games. I don't know. Say you wanted me to play the new Call of Duty. I know that's like the lamest example, but say you really wanted me to play it and make a Let's Play, or just a new RPG that came out and I don't play it for whatever reason and I don't record it. You know, it's like, hey, I'll pay you $15 a month. Will you buy this game and make a Let's Play of it? I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I'll make one episode that's guaranteed at least 30 minutes. And I also put in the 15-minute request or $15 request. Or if you don't want me to play a game, if there is any specific type of ASMR you want me to do, I will do it for 30 minutes. So if you wanted me to brush the microphone or tap it or, whatever it is, as long as it's safe for work material, I will do that. And the $20 one, I didn't technically attach a time frame to it, but I will say that we'll bump that up to 40 minutes. And how that works, for the ASMR request videos, you have the choice of either getting an unlisted link sent directly to you, and it's yours and yours only, or I could post it directly to the channel for everyone to see. So if you want to get something specific from me, and you're like, you know what, maybe I just want this all to myself for, whatever reason, that is your option, because it is your money, and that applies to all ranks of the current structure. And I definitely want your guys' input, because Patreon, I never really knew what rewards were good, especially for what I do, because, I just make YouTube videos. I know cosplay artists will, for example, send you special pictures or whatever, on top of just getting to look at all of their cosplay photos and stuff. But I don't know. I make videos on the internet, so I guess I really have to try to be creative, and in this area I'm not really super creative. Okay. And then I did write some things on the side notes. All Patreon videos are bonus to what comes out regularly, so you will not see anything replace anything, and you will still see everything else come out at the same time that they usually come out, but these will be on top of that. So kind of like how I've been doing 2 videos a day for certain days, this will be basically like that. And if this ends up being a 3rd video a day, then that's how it'll work. Depends on the schedule. Bonus Let's Plays are if I were to do these Let's Plays, how it would work is the Patreon Let's Plays are Mondays, and the ASMR requests on Fridays. So if you have a game you want me to play, that would be on a Monday. If you have an ASMR request, that would come out on a Friday. Contact for a request will be through email, direct message on Twitter. Don't put them in the comment section of YouTube. If you do, then I would probably just, message you saying like, hey, I saw you did this. Just send me a request directly through email. 1 second, I gotta clear my throat. Okay. The Patreon reward videos will be stated as such in both title and in the intro. So if I make a video that's specifically from a Patreon request or a Patreon Let's Play, that will be clearly stated. You will know that that's what it is. Unless it's a video that for whatever reason you want it to be sent an unlisted link. How unlisted videos works is different than private videos. Private videos don't show up. Unlisted is only viewable by people who have that link. So if I give you a link, anyone who has that link can view it. But if I only give it to you and you give it to nobody else, only you can see that it exists on the channel. Nobody else will even see it there. So that's how that works if you want it to be kept unlisted. So once again, that is probably something that I could see happening for requests. As long as it doesn't get too weird, I suppose, and that'll be at my own discretion. If you have something you want, feel free to email me, and I'll tell you whether I'm willing to do it or not. And if I'm not willing to do it and you think that that's not worth the money, well then, hey, you don't have to give me the money. So that is how that transaction will work. It'll be at a case-by-case basis. And you can even email me first. Be like, hey, are you willing to do this type of content? And if I say yes, and if you want to pay, go right ahead. And if I say no, and you don't, it's all good. And you also, by the way, are not obligated to pick a Patreon reward. If you just want to throw money at me and be like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, cool. I will probably send out a monthly email to everybody or a monthly notification via Patreon or whatever to figure that out. So we'll get there as we get there. Alrighty. Felt like that Patreon bit was a bit longer-winded than I wanted it to be. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Hopefully that was a worthwhile update video. Nothing else really going on that I can think of. Anything else, probably just say it during a regular video. I don't know. So if you guys have any questions for me on top of the answers that you give, go right ahead. So go nuts. I am super excited to hear your responses. I'm hoping at least a good chunk of you watch this all the way through. And yeah, love you guys and hope you have a good night.